How to stay sober when life gets hard. Ooh, I know that's a hard one. Once again, this is my experience, and life is going to show up. One thing I can say, even in sobriety, at I have 5 years and a half sober now, close to 5 years and a half. My sobriety date is September 4th, 2019, and I'm forever grateful for that. In my experience, how to stay sober during hard times. You must get close to what is keeping you sober. I call it going back to the basics. Um, I went through a situation. I lost my mother a couple years back, and I was living across the street from a liquor store at the time. I'm a recovered alcoholic, but I never thought about drinking. I promise you guys, I never thought about drinking. It never came to mind because I knew where that was going to take me. But I did go to what was keeping me sober at that time. I go to meetings, and went to a meeting and immediately, I didn't. It wasn't no. Oh, I'll go to a meeting later, or let me be with family right now. I was with family during the day, but at night I took myself to a meeting and immediately got up there in front of everybody, over 50 different people, and shared what I was feeling and how I was feeling. It was very important. The second I shared me missing my mother passing earlier that day, if I felt better, then the people around me start to put their hands on me and ultimately help me walk through that experience. And I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I was mad at God. I was, but I didn't say not one time. I didn't curse at God. I didn't. God, why my mom? Because I felt like that, and I remember telling my life coach, I was like, like why my mom? And then he says, well, Abram, who mom was God supposed to take? And at that point, I couldn't even say nothing, and it just hit me like he's right, you know. And who am I to be like, take somebody else's mom? Just don't take mine. That's very selfish. That's very wrong of me. So, at that point, when he said that, it helped me deal with it easier. I ain't gonna say it just went away. It's still to this day. She's been going about 2 years, and it gets easier, but it never just completely just I'm all right. I just learned how to deal with it, and that's one big experience. That's one of my biggest that I went through, if not the biggest, as far as in sobriety, losing my mother. Um, she was able to see me sober 3 years though before she passed, so that's a blessing. I'm glad she was able to see that because she's seen the addiction. She's seen what addiction did to her son. So I'm glad she was able to see that before passing. But that's one thing that I had to go through that was very hard for me, but I stayed sober through it. So what can you do to stay sober through a hard time like that? Whatever got you sober, wherever it was keeping you sober, you have to go back to that. And I mean go back to the basics of what even got you sober. You know what I'm saying? Because fear can get you sober, but fear won't keep you sober. Meaning, you can overdose and then run into the meetings, run into treatment. Yeah, man, I went through experience. I almost passed. It's hard. I'm scared, and that can get you into treatment. That can get you into sober living, but ultimately, it won't keep you there. So you gotta find something that's willing to keep you there, and something that worked for me, of course, was meetings. But they have meetings, church, therapy, spiritual retreats, men groups, women groups. Um, Mainly, you need to find somebody to talk to, sober support. I feel that therapy is really, really good as well, because it gives you somebody to bounce your ideas off of. Tell somebody how you're feeling, and then somebody can give you good advice back. Somebody to pull your coattail when you're not doing the right thing. Somebody to be like, look, that was wrong. You shouldn't have did that. Then at the same time, somebody to be like, you know what, that was a good idea. I think what you did was great, and give you that pound of back. Because how much of us may say that we don't need nobody to validate us, we do love it when we feel it, especially when somebody we care about give us that validation. So, as we continue to grow, we learn how to stay sober through hard times. And I promise you, you will learn the same thing. You just got to give yourself time to do so. because this thing we call sobriety, recovery, oh my God, my worst day sober is better than my best day high. I wouldn't trade this life in for nothing. And for my family members that are in the beginning steps of their recovery, the first 30 days, first 60 days, first 90 days, I promise you, once you get up that hump, because it's hard to see the other side because there's a hump in front of you right now. So you get up that hump, and you're able to see the other side of what sobriety and recovery can offer you, and you start running towards it. See, my life coach told me, he said, Abram, if you knew what your God had for you, you'd be breaking my door down trying to meet with me every week to get this information. He was 100% correct. As far as what I came from to where I'm going now. The person that is sitting in front of you I was sleeping at a park 5.5 years ago to taking care of a family now, as far as, and being married. My children stay with me, and I take care of them, and I wouldn't change it no other way. So those are just some of the little golden nuggets that you're going to get along the way. Of course, material things, that's going to come. And whatever you want out of life, I promise you, addiction is not going to help you get there. So let's get the motivation to help us stay sober. Now, I don't use my children as a reason for me to stay sober. I do it for me. Because if I'm good, the kids are good. If I'm good, my mom is good. If I'm good, the people under me are good. If I'm good, my dog is good. So I don't kind of focus on necessarily making my kids make sure they're good. I focus on making sure I'm good and they're good. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that comes with this recovery thing that we do, and the love we're able to share. The most important things I was able to do in my sobriety was restore those relationships. That mother. That's my mother's no longer here, but before she left, she was able to, I was able to say sorry. I was able to apologize. She was able to accept it. We was able to get on good terms. We were able to have conversations, go out to eat. I was able to pick my mother up and take her places. It was a blessing. That's one of the most important relationships with my family, my sister, my brother. Those are the most important things to me that I was able to get. But material, got that too, so today I love just giving back. It's 1:30 in the morning in California. So it's Monday morning and I'm sitting here giving this information. I just got done building my the bassinet or something like that for my baby that's due today at 8 p.m. where my wife is going to be induced at 8 p.m. today. And but I'm still here. I feel this information must be given. I told myself I was giving myself this time, so and I don't have to go to work today. I ain't gonna sit here and lie like I can get up and go to work. So, when I go lay in bed, I just go to sleep. Everything's gonna be great. But I love doing this. I think you probably can see on my face. I love sobriety. I love talking to you guys about it. And I can talk to you about so many different things. But staying sober during hard times, man, it does get easier with you as you continue to progress in your recovery because you know what to do. If you get high or get drunk during a time like that, and you've been sober, you've been doing the right thing for a while, you get high and get drunk. I think I'll say it was still on you, and we never fully committed. I never was fully honest with myself. So the ones who won't stay sober are the ones who can't be completely honest with themselves about where they're at and how they're feeling about recovery or addiction. So during hard times, get back to the basics of what got you sober in the first place. It usually helps. A gratitude list. 5 things that you're grateful for, put it in your wallet. And on hard times, you pull that out and you read it. You read it out loud. So you can see that what you're willing to give up or what you will give up if you end up going backwards. So just know that this is Breaking Change with Abram. and we're gonna break some chains, because we got some chains that need to be broken. Um, and just past traumas, a lot of different things that we don't know we even have, and then we're dragging on with us, you know. So as we get rid of some of this bad luggage to get some of this luggage of recovery, we're gonna all do it together. Once again, thank you for listening. Peace.